Morning everyone and welcome back to YTCSC, YouTube's Celtic Supporters Club. I'm your host Mark and I am doing a video this morning wanting to have a chat about the state of play with our transfers. We've all got an opinion on this and Celtic seem to do the same thing every single year, apart from Ange's first year, to be fair, but we're back at it again, I think. So let's talk about Brendan Rodgers first of all. Whether he's just sent a message, not to the Celtic players, but straight to the Celtic board. After that heavy defeat to Ajax, like we don't need to get into that anymore. I think that's been done to death. But I think Rodgers has sent a message to the board for me. He's said Celtic need to show ambition in the transfer market. Now that word ambition tells me that we are back to the old games that we play of signing £1 million players or 500 grand players and trying to sell them on further down the line. Now that ambition word's not just a throwaway comment for me. I don't think so anyway. I think it's a clear signal. And he's not hiding his frustration, but he's done it in a very calm and calculated way in my eyes. Let's be honest, Rodgers he's always been a guy who values squad quality. We know that. He's worked at the top level. He's played. He's managed in the Premier League, and Liverpool. If it wasn't for Slippy Arse, he would have probably been a winner in the Premiership. So without him getting backed, like he hasn't been in this window, I think the whole conversation, this is another video, the whole conversation of him and his contract is going to rumble on this year unless Celtic get their finger out and do what they need to do. He knows if you don't get quality and you hit a ceiling, especially in Europe, and do we have enough quality in our team to actually take us into the Champions League? Depends who you get in the qualifiers, but I don't think so at this moment in time. I think we are short wide and we're short up front pretty badly. So what's really going on here then? I think there's kind of three layers to what Rodgers has said. Number one, he's putting pressure on the Celtic board. After that humiliation, I think I'm going to say that because it was humiliating actually. It's a way of saying, look, if you want better performances, give me better players. Simple as that. And I'll come on and later on and talk about a wee bit about what he said with Yang. Very similar. Thinly failed dig. Same thing here. Look, if you want better performances, you need to get his better players. Two, he's speaking to us, the fans. He knows we're ambitious. He knows we want to do well in the Champions League. We want to compete. And by calling that out publicly and saying that one word, he's shown that he's on the same page as us, and he's shown he's frustrated as well as we are. He has to put a face on it. He's the Celtic manager. He can't be like us, cussing and swearing and demanding and stuff. Behind closed doors, maybe he is doing that, but he, for me, was showing that he's in the same page as us, and we need to be ambitious here, otherwise we're not going to get what we want, and we'll end up in the Europa League, and we'll end up with a team of players that aren't ready to compete. Number three, he's done this already, he done it last year, but he's challenging the club strategy. Club strategy and the model has been to focus on young, sellable talent, like we always have done, and we've been successful. That's why we've got this brilliant player trading model, and we make a lot of money from it, so it's worked. But Rodgers is saying that that's not enough anymore. In my opinion, that's and we know it's not enough anymore, right? We know as fans, buying players like Callum Osmond, it's not enough anymore. Maybe buying these players alongside the quality that we want is where we want to go, and I think that's what Brendan Rodgers is trying to say. We need proven quality if we want to be serious about Europe. I mean, we get the Champions League qualifiers in 24 days. 24 days. We've got strikers that can't score. We've got not enough wingers. It's beggars belief, I think, man. So it wasn't a post-match. Excuse me. It wasn't a post-match rant. Too early for the throat. It wasn't a post-match rant for me, for Rodgers. I think that was a calculated comment that he said. some managers will come out and throw the toys out the pram. That's not Brendan's style, and I think that was a message loud and clear to the board. You just need to get your fingers out and you need to get me better quality players, or we risk the Champions League money. You know, Celtic normally keep their money and wait and see if we qualify and then spend. But I'll talk about that in a wee minute. So what do you think about that then? What do you think I'm on track with that? Do you think I'm way off? Get a few comments in and let us know, and let's get a conversation started with this on this one. And we'll work out what you guys think. Please subscribe to the channel, click that little bell, and that will let you know when the videos drop. We are at 914 subscribers. We want to get to the 1,000. About 86% of people that watch our videos have not subscribed, so there's plenty of you out there. If you can share the videos to Celtic-minded people like yourself, that will help us get there. Second part of the video, I want to talk about the transfer situation, where we are and where we've been and where we're going. So let's get into that. Okay, let's talk about where Celtic are right now. And I don't really want to sugarcoat it, because we all know as fans the situation. So for me, there's a lot to be concerned about, and we don't have a lot of time to fix it. We have got 24 days till this Champions League qualifier, and this, it's not going to make or break our season, right? But it's where everybody wants to be. It's going to tell us, are Celtic shown enough ambition? Are they showing ambition, or are they being the same old penny pinching Celtic board? So Brendan was asked about Yang after the Ajax game, sorry, and he said that he couldn't afford to let him go because he was an important first team squad player. And look, at this minute I agree, right? But only because we haven't went out and signed anyone better. That's it. That's the issue. Celtic haven't went out and done what they needed to do in the transfer market. Is Yang improving? Yes, I think he is improving. I think he's becoming a better player. Does Brendan Rodgers really see him as an important first team player? Absolutely not. 100% he doesn't, right? But that for me is another point he's making to us as Celtic fans and to the board. You need to get me better quality. If you don't get me better quality, this is the guy that's going to start. And we know that Brendan doesn't want to start Yang. The board know Brendan doesn't want to start Yang. So why have we not went out and replaced the players that we've lost? Yang's not undroppable, man. He's certainly not that. He's just currently all we've got in that position, along with Jamesy. And yes, Forrest, I like Forrest, I do. But we need better quality in there to be able to make inroads into the Champions League, and we just don't have it. We just don't have it. Now, we're also hearing, and we have been for a while, that there's clubs interested in Maeda, right? We know that. We know that there's clubs interested in Maeda, and I've done a video on it before, but let me be clear about this. The roof would absolutely fall in if Celtic were to let him go right now. It would collapse. If that was to happen, it would be a calamity. And if Rodgers is saying Yang's too important to let go, then my God, how must they feel about Maeda? Wow. I think there would be chaos if Celtic sold Maeda at this minute in time. I think there would be absolute chaos. Because the truth is, we're so far off it at the moment, in my opinion. We've only got 24 days left until we get to the Champions League qualifier, and I know I keep talking about this Champions League qualifier, but it's on your mind. It's on my mind. It'll be on Brendan Rodgers' mind. It'll be on the boards as well, right? We know that the board aren't. They want to get into the Champions League, but they play this fucking stick or twist game, and it isn't good. 24 days we've got, right? Celtic need to act and act now. They've got to be on it. I think we need another striker, right? And at least two wingers. Maybe not at least, probably two wingers, right? So those three are probably bare minimum that we need. Do we need another left back potentially? Is Inamura going to work out potentially? I think we need another right side centre back. Potentially, I'm jumping it here, but if Carter Vickers get injured, we've only got Daizen Maeda there, and Daizen Maeda's not experienced enough. But then you want him to get experience because he does look like a good player. But having just two in that position would be troublesome for me because I don't know if you definitely wouldn't want to start Daizen Maeda in any European qualifiers or getting into Europe. So the big question for me is when. Clock's ticking. The Champions League qualifier is not waiting for us, right? And it is coming soon. We have to get players in and we have to give them time to get ready. 24 days is not enough time to sign the player and bring them in and get them used to their team and used to the system. The longer we wait, the closer it gets to this, the harder it gets for anybody that we can bring in. So, the board will be thinking about the Champions League qualifier, of course they will, right? Make no mistake. But it's a tightrope that they walk. They do it all the time. We know how the board works. They'll be sitting there, arses twitching away, weighing up whether to gamble or wait until after the qualifier to spend. We know from past history that they want to wait until after the qualifier to make sure that we get in there. And I know what you're thinking, and it's blown my mind even saying it again. Why wait? Why not just go invest, get the quality in that you need, and then go and get into the riches of the Champions League? They're gambling with that money, and it's mad. It is absolutely mad. So I'll say this now, right? If they take the gambling way, I'll be absolutely raging. I will be, because we're not progressive enough. Well, as a club, we're not progressive enough. I always talk about Ajax, right? Look at Ajax. Look at the model they've got. They go and spend big on really good players, and they've continuously done it. Celtic went out and spent 9 million in a striker and 11 million in a midfielder last year, and I think they've absolutely shat their pants now because he does not producing the goods as well as we would want to be. So it's not about panic buying, right? For me, don't go panic buy. You've got to get players in that are going to improve the squad, and that's not even the squad, the first 11. They've got to come in and improve the first 11. There's got to be a right winger that can come in and push Yang out. There's got to be a striker that can come in and push Ida out. Got to be a left winger that can come in and back up Maeda, or even let Maeda play through the middle sometimes. These are the kind of things that as a Celtic fans that we're thinking about, and surely the board are thinking that as well. But the longer we leave it, the worse it gets. The more desperate we look, right? And the more we'll be held to ransom when we're talking about fees for players and players' wages. When these clubs know yous are absolutely desperate to get this player in before the Champions League, that 5 million might go to 6 million, and that player's wages might go for 15,000 to 20,000. So you're making the rod for your own back. You think about Balikwisha. I don't get it. They want to sell. He wants to come. The blocker has to be Celtic. He's come out and said that he wants to go. They've said that they're willing to sell. There's talk about Celtic there. Celtic have had this interest for ages. The hold up is us. The hold up is the club. It's got to be how much money they want to pay. I don't know. But if they want that player, go and get him. It's the same thing with this board constantly. We hear that we were looking to sign a boy for 1.5 million and he's rated at £5 million. That is just embarrassing. As a club, it's embarrassing. So let's be honest, the squad is weaker than it was last season. At one point, we had Kyogo up front, Ida behind him, Maeda on the left, Kun on the right. Then Kyogo goes, we bring in Jota. That gives us Maeda up front, Jota on the left and Kun on the right. Still a really strong squad. And then we sell Kun, not replaced him. Now Jota's injured and we are significantly weaker with this Champions League coming up. It's beggars belief. It's beggars belief. We've not replaced any of these guys well enough. and we're in this position again where we're hurtling towards a Champions League qualifier with project signings in and around the club, and Celtic hoping that things come good. I'm not dissing the guys that have come in, the project signings. That's not their fault, right? And I think they'll be decent players, but they are not Champions League players. They are not players that will get us into the Champions League. They're not. They just aren't. So the big test is the next few weeks. Are Celtic going to open the wallet and go and sign players, or are we going into this Champions League qualifier undercooked? Same weaknesses that we've been exposed already, and it's the board for me. There's no excuses. Brendan Rodgers wants to spend. He's identified targets, and we've just not went and got them. So am I concerned at this point? Absolutely, I am very concerned. I'm not at the point of kicking off. I watched the Trinity Tims, and the boys are quite good, but there's a lot of board bashing and happy clapping bashing going on with these guys in their videos, and sometimes I think they're very, very negative. But some of the stuff that they're saying is true, and it's relevant. At this point, I'm starting to twitch. I'm getting to the twitchy point. We should have players in by now, and we don't. And we're coming up to the Champions League qualifiers in the start of the season. So let me know what you think. Let me know what you think the board and what they're doing, and the vision that we've got and where we are at this point. Are we ready? Are we not ready? Who do you want to see in? What do you want to see happening? And what we'll do is we'll catch you in the next video, and hopefully tonight Celtic get a wee win in this friendly, the Como Cup, and we start seeing some signings coming in so that we're ready for the Champions League qualifiers and the league itself. Okay, listen, catch you in the next one. Hail, hail, people.